Now we are on air.
We're
This
we're
is
live.
Sunday. We're live. This is Sunday
All right,
leftovers.
my last
Let's do
one.
this. The last one.
My last one.
Maybe not the last one. We
You
can
never know.
still. Yeah. We'll never know.
You
And
never know.
well, we are here with the former ANC
Former.
pastor.
What does it say? Where does it say that? Right down
Right
there.
there. Right
Oh,
there.
look at
Right
them. Those
there.
fingernails are terrible.
Wow.
I need a a manicure. What something?
Manicure.
Yeah,
So how are you, Trey? How's life?
I'm good, man. It literally felt like a hangover yesterday. You know,
Oh, yeah.
when you do something that just emotionally exhausting, you just feel hungover, and I did, and it was true. And I told somebody I am not in the position to make any life decisions yesterday. So today feels a little
Yeah.
bit better. I'm happy to, you know, have that behind me. And but no, everything feels. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for ANC, and so yeah.
I told you this, and I want to tell this again.
Oh,
Now,
y'all are gonna
now,
have to deal with it.
with what?
Y'all have to deal with me smoking a cigar.
Yeah,
It's my coping mechanism.
and that's fine. Well, I told you the other day that you did something beautiful last Sunday, talking about um, the needs of the church and talking about your story. I mean, how everything started, and
Yeah.
it gives the people some kind of a sense of your trajectory, and also the evolution, the development of ANC. And I
Yeah.
think that that is something that probably for many folks they didn't have, because maybe they are pretty new. But uh, the thing that you share puts a lot of things in perspective,
Mm.
and I think that that is was I think that was beautiful,
Mm.
and it was very touching. Yeah,
Thanks.
my wife can she can confirm. I was in tears in watching the streaming. So
That's
yeah,
my fault. My bad.
yeah, you're bad.
Yeah,
You're
and
bad.
I think to a fault, it's something we don't talk about, being the finances and the health of the church. And you know, we've done this before, and this one. Sorry about the train. Um,
It's fine.
okay, but yeah, to a fault, we don't talk about it, and because we don't want to be that church, you know, that church that's always hitting people up for money. But I think it's important to know kind of where we are and the the position we're in. And literally, and I made up a word. I've been telling people I've been disafforded. Disafforded. You're not, you know what afforded is, but when you're opposite of that, that's my word. And so, um, it was really something drastic had to change in order for ANC to survive,
Mm.
and I was that drastic thing. And so I hope it's enough. I hope that the people that join now will get on board. I hope that those that are there will um, really do their part. There's some, we've got fantastic, generous people at
Yeah,
ANC, but uh, recognizing the the possible finality of something that you love really makes you change gears and dig deep. And so I hope that it didn't come across as guilting or shaming. That was not my goal. Never would be.
it didn't feel that
I'm
way.
good because I'm just telling and I told Jason I'm just telling my perspective of giving and how I want to be a supportive member of the church. What I didn't tell that I think I've told in a previous sermon was the year that I did not give anything. Do you remember that?
No,
Um,
I don't
okay,
remember.
So
when you say that?
it was March or so of whatever year it was. It was at my old church, and I didn't get my giving statement, so I called the giving secretary, the financial secretary at the office at the church, and I said, "Hey, Gloria, I didn't get my giving records." And she said, well, "Let me get right back to you." And so she called me back. She goes, "I don't gave anything." Well, this was at the advent of, first of all, what a gut punch. But second of all, it was at the advent of online or bank draft or something like that. And I must have, or it must have been a default, that I put an end date, and I did not give a dime to my church that year. Um, and it was it felt horrible. I was guilt. I felt guilty. I felt shame, because honestly, that was the culture I was in. But also, I felt bad. I felt that I hadn't done my part.
Right.
I'd given for years before. Obviously, I gave for years after. But for one whole year, I did not give a dime to my church, and it was my fault. But it was not my intent, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So I keep confessing that to people, just hoping God hears me and forgives me and all that, all that stuff. But no, I feel like there's a responsibility, when you are part of something, to share in the cost and upkeep and management of it.
Yeah.
You should volunteer, you should give, you should pray for, you should participate in. I mean, there's so many things. Being part of a church like ANC needs everybody on board.
You know what I think? I think sometimes people, and maybe this is a maybe this could sound like a criticism, and maybe because it is. Uh, Sometimes people don't realize the cost to to make church in the way ANC is doing church. I
No,
mean,
they don't.
we take things for granted so many times, and
Well, I
we see that things are working, and sometimes we don't realize that how important is to, if we have the chance to help and to be more involved, to do that, to
yeah, I've had people ask me before, like, how does ANC get its funding? And I'm like, from you, from others like you. They thought, oh, they're like, oh, I thought you got like grants or something, or people just don't understand necessarily how
yeah,
churches get their funding. And it's, I told somebody else yesterday, I think we should change the name of giving and offerings to crowdsourcing. Because that's kind of a hip new terminology, and that's basically what we do. We ask the
right.
crowd to help fund it. And so I think, I mean, I don't know that that's brilliant, but I'm like, I would repackage and rebrand and go, okay, listen, folks, we're crowdsourcing our budget, our finances, our whatever, and
Yeah,
lay it all out there.
like we need this amount to function this year,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
That's not a bad idea. Maybe
yeah,
some folks here are listening this, and maybe they'll say, that doesn't like a bad idea.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
call ANC. They will figure it
yeah.
out.
Don't call
you
me.
know,
Well, you can call me, but don't talk about ANC. So
no, no, yeah, that's right. you know, uh, well, I kind of empathize with your situation because in a different way, it's a different way. I face something similar.
you were
Like,
disappointed.
yeah, that's right. So,
We couldn't get funding for you.
yeah, yeah, that's right. And so I realized how hard this could be, the transition,
Yeah.
because at a certain point you realize, okay, this is happening. This is
Yep.
happening, and yeah, we need to do something. And there's a little time, like it's a kind of, it's a foggy time.
Mm.
At least that was in my mind. Like, I, you know what to do, and maybe you kind of know what the next step is, but no, really, like, not, you don't have the certainty about
Right.
how
Right.
will you reconfigure your life
Right.
for the
Right.
rest of your life.
Right.
Because my memories are that almost every time that I went to church in the morning at ANC, you were there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so it's like, and I
Yeah. I
know,
don't. I don't. I don't know what to do with myself on Sunday mornings other than go to church. You know.
yeah, and even during the week, I know you came up early, super early.
Yeah.
You know which Starbucks is opening the earliest in the morning, like 4
True.
a.m. You know
4:30.
that.
Yes.
Other people doesn't know, but you know because you came out early, and is so you configure your life around the ministry and around ANC, and it makes sense because you moved to Austin to do that,
Yeah.
to be there to to move the church, and you were one of them founders. How do you say members, founders,
Founding
members,
member, founding pastor. Yeah.
founding pastor. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of understand that. When I moved back to Chile, uh, it was like 10 years since we left the country. We were
Mm.
spending 6 years in Mexico, 4 years in the States, and I'm still trying to readapt
Yeah. Oh
in
wow.
a few things, because it's like
Wow.
is my country, but it
Mm.
feels different. The culture is different. I'm not I'm not saying bad, different, just different,
Yeah.
and this is a constant trying and still figuring out how to reconfigure the future.
Mm.
So I kind of understand the place that you are right now, and
Right.
and also ANC, because they need to reconfigure also
Right. Oh yeah.
how to move to the next
Yeah. There's
stage.
going to be some shuffling around, some duties, and um, just trying to figure out. And I felt much love on Sunday morning. I mean, it was crazy. Um, Somebody said you're like Jen Hatmaker because you made people laugh, you made people cry, and then there was a huge line to hug you after the thing. And I'm like, oh, well, it kind of was, but it was wonderful to be loved by a community like that, and the feeling's mutual. I love the community back. There will never be another no, anything like that. The relationship that I had with it and it with me, it's not going anywhere. I am going to be absent for a while. I've got to give staff and everybody there room to figure out life without me. I don't
Right.
want to be a burden. I don't want to be a distraction. Um, so I just hope that things get back on track fairly quickly. That any kind of shuffling can be done quickly. And anyway, I love it. Like I said, I felt a lot of gratitude leaving ANC for the last time. I was there early, like you said, just kind of soaking it all in, going, okay, this is my last time to hear the band warm up. Probably this is my last time to set out communion this week. This is my last time to preach. Maybe I don't know if they'll have me back or not, but I hope that just for years to come, that we have a church. We have ANC. I say a church like ANC, but ANC special, still special.
But
I,
I mean, maybe it's your last time in several things, several duties and stuff. But I think there's people that function as with a pastoral role, and there's people that are pastors. And I think you are the second kind of people. You are a pastor, and you are a pastor for so many people. So even though maybe you won't receive the salary, but for sure, so many people consider you as their pastor, and
yeah,
they will reach out for you eventually.
yeah,
And yeah, so I think it's
yeah. It's a
this is not the last time for ministry. I mean, I
yeah.
think
It's
you've been doing
it's
ministry since before ANC, and you will
right.
keep doing ministry after
Yeah,
ANC.
yeah. That's one of the roles. It's hard. It's like putting on a. So when I came to ANC, I was in ministry, but I was in lay ministry. I was in a church. I was serving as a deacon, and twice I was youth pastor between paid youth pastors. And so, but when I moved to Austin to become Austin New Church's pastor, at one of them, it was like putting on a suit that didn't really fit. I felt odd for some reason. I didn't, I didn't necessarily like the title. I would tell people I was something different, but no, it's something that I really, really cherished, and um, I guess grew into the suit that didn't fit, and I so cherish it. I felt honored to be a pastor at Austin New Church, and will be one of the great honors of my life. So, yeah. Let's talk about something awesome. Trying to change gears. Caesar, help me.
Yeah.
Before you make me cry again.
I'm very emotional about this subject, so we both are in danger to cry and all of that. I tell you this so many times. My son, he really appreciate you a lot, and he was very sad. Unfortunately, he must attend some kind of emergency at El Paso, so he wasn't in town.
But we got his friend. He hooked us up with his friend Chris, who was drumming at. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh, okay, from UT too.
Yeah. He was a friend of Matthias, and so he referred him over, and we got to play with us. Did a good job. So
that's great.
Yep.
And I love you, Trey, and I will miss you, even though we still have phones and messages and all of that.
And you keep sending me crazy. You keep sending me crazy memes and videos. I love it.
I will do that. I keep doing that, and I know some. And I was painting. I'm sorry. Yo hablo español, así que me van a tener que perdonar esto. I know I was a pain in the, but I really appreciate that. Every time that I came to you, you were friendly.
I love you, Caesar.
I miss you.
I miss you too, man. When you come back this way, you gotta let me know. I know it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, eventually. I would love to. I would love to go to Austin, see my son, the church, and I go to your place and eat some barbecue.
Come on, let's do it. Oh man, when you asked me yesterday if I was gonna do leftovers, I'd actually thought I wouldn't, because just I don't know, but the opportunity just to hang out with you and sit here and just tell you that I love you, man, and tell the church that I'm gonna miss it like crazy, and it just was too good of an offer to pass up, And specifically, you asked. I wasn't going to ask you, but you asked, and I'm like, absolutely, let's do this. So, it's a good time.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for this conversation. I know for so many people it will be very meaningful. So it's great.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, this was our last. Who knows? Sunday leftovers.
Right, where is it? Right there. It says right there. Former NC pastor. And then boom.
Boom.
Where's it go? Right there. There. All right.
Oh, we are so lame.